So first off, we want to know, why did you start the Vermont Startup News?
Because nobody was doing anything like it, to be honest with you. When I started to do some angel investing, I was looking all over the place to try to find out what was going on in the investment community, and there was really no clearinghouse for it at all. It seemed to be pretty siloed, and you had to know people in each individual silo to find out what was going on. I found it a little bit frustrating, so I decided to try to find out myself what is going on and then tell everybody.
So did you just produce the first one and throw it out there on your LinkedIn page? Like, how did you build your network? Where'd that come from? Was it the 30 years in television, or?
Really, just what you said. I put it on more than just LinkedIn, but LinkedIn has worked out traction, and I made it up. It had very bad graphics at first, and I did get some help on the graphics, which
it's like
made
the
it
MVP advice. Like, just put it out there, and we'll see if people care.
Yeah, and
right?
it kind of was, and it was interesting because people like you guys and people in the investment community who was on LinkedIn at the time said, what an interesting idea. And I had asked a few people if they thought it was valid and, worthy. And everybody said, oh, yeah, that would be cool. So it kind of went from there, and it's been going on for a few years now. I
love it. And I don't know how you do it. Maybe it's because you have a lot of connections on LinkedIn, but it's always the first thing I see. Whenever you post it, it's right there.
Really?
It's amazing because if I go on LinkedIn in the morning, usually that's what I do. I get all my updates from your video.
Yeah, he does sort of like load at the top of the page. Do you release it like 5 a.m.
I have no idea why that happens. I honestly don't. But I'm really glad to hear that. That's cool.
It's great.
We start our day with you.
How nice.
Oh, my gosh. So why don't we just describe to maybe folks haven't seen it. What is Vermont Startup News? What do you try to accomplish in that time? Okay, so it's really kind of I would call it like a news update for the investment community and really the startup community. So when you listen to it, it's like, here's what we have coming up today. We're going to talk about company XYZ, and then whatever they're doing, we'll give some details. It's usually, each update specifically is about 30 to 45 seconds. Maybe somebody got funding, maybe somebody has a new product, stuff like that. It's not very long. The whole thing is usually round about 4 minutes, give or take about 30 seconds, something like that. And it's that simple. And I've been doing it for a couple of years, and it has gotten a little bit longer because, when things are happening, you don't want to leave things out. Yeah. Right. And so the idea is to just get it out there every other week at this point is what I'm doing. I would love to do it every week. It would be a little tough on me because I do travel a lot. But also every other week actually feels about right in terms of how much stuff is happening in the startup community around Vermont.
Yeah, it seems like every time you post, there's new information out there. And it's something I really appreciate because a lot of the times, you don't want to read all of the updates on LinkedIn every day. And so every other week, it's easy to digest because it's only little bits, but it's really valuable. Yeah, I really enjoy it because, you can fall in that trap of like, oh, we see it all, we know it all. And I always wonder what the blind spots are. Like,
you guys know a lot.
What are we missing? But like, I think behaviorally,
I've been able to look at your stuff, as you know.
And you've been fantastic for our companies to get some visibility. But I'm always surprised with the ingenuity and the business formations that go around our state that don't know about us. And that just reminds us of the job we have to do. So.
Yeah,
totally. Now I'm curious, is this what you thought you'd want to do after you retired from your TV career?
No.
Wait, so tell us about that.
A lot of my life, I don't know if I want to call it a series of accidents, but it almost is in a way. I went to school, got a degree in business economics, but at this school, I really got into radio. So then I did radio for a while. Then I did TV. And the only reason I got into TV was because I was in Rochester, New York, my hometown. And there was a local NBC affiliate television station that was terrible. And they actually put out an ad. I had never seen this before. I've never seen it since. It said, we're going to hold all open auditions to find a weekend weather person. I'm like, okay. So I went in and I auditioned for a TV job and got it. And I knew nothing about the weather at all. So I got the job, realized I knew nothing. The Weather Channel was new then. I turned the Weather Channel on, and I was writing stuff down. It's like, oh, yeah, it was rain over in the Midwest.
Look up this word. Yeah.
All this stuff, yeah. And then I realized, virtually immediately, I said, if I'm going to do this, I better get a clue. So I went back to school for meteorology after that, and then worked at one other place for a few years before I came over here.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Fake it till you make it, I heard, on the front end, right? And then...
So let me, just to answer your question. So I end up over here for 31 years on TV, and it was the greatest gig ever. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I loved every minute of it. But I always knew that I wanted to do business on the backside. So toward the end of my career in television, I started to look around, and honestly, I kind of stumbled on, and I think Shark Tank helped. I hate to admit that, but I really do.
I love Shark Tank.
Yeah, and I got interested in what's this investing all about. So I started to read everything I could find, and then started to seek out people like Dave and some others to see what this was all about. And then I started to do a little bit of investing, not only here, but nationally. Wow. And so then when I left my job at Channel 5, I was like, oh, okay, this will be kind of neat to be retired. And I was pretty happy for about 4.5 minutes.
And I'm like, failed at retirement.
Yeah. I am a bad retired person. I just am. So I needed things to do, and Vermont Startup News fit right in there because the timing was right with getting frustrated with that, kind of the silo situation I was talking about. And I said, well, I know how to make video. Maybe I'll mess around and make some video on all this, and it caught on, and again, it was kind of an accident.
So great. Well, we don't know how to make video, so you're our guinea pig, and thank you for that.
Well, I think we're doing okay. It seems to be working.